I have serious concerns about whether or not children should be allowed, primary school children particularly, should be allowed out of school for holidays or other activities without their parents being fined. First of all, there's the idea of parental responsibility. And when teachers assume responsibility, it's assuming responsibility in loco parentis, in the place of the parents. So nothing is greater than the parental responsibility, including when they take children out of schools and for whatever reason. Some holidays can provide educational experiences that children might not get in a classroom, such as learning about different cultures and histories. And there's also there's an opportunity for greater quality time spent with the family and bonding, the social and emotional development of children. And then there's the economic factors, which are quoted particularly by Laura Melling and her husband from Leyland in Lancashire, who've both been fined £120 each for taking their two primary school children out of school on a holiday. The arguments against taking children out of school for holidays are that it causes academic disruption, and missing school can lead to gaps in learning, making it harder for children to catch up. And remember, particularly at primary school, it's a holistic activity. It's not about having a set of particular skills that you can quickly catch up. It's about a process of learning as a group. Teachers who may have to spend extra additional time helping the absent children catch up, which can affect the entire class. Regular attendance is crucial to maintaining a routine and instilling discipline in children. And schools have a legal and an ethical responsibility to ensure children receive an uninterrupted education. And that is delegated by the parents to the school. Of course, it all gets very confusing when it comes to homeschooling, and parents who homeschool have more flexibility in scheduling holidays without affecting their children's education. However, they must ensure the educational curriculum is met. And possibly the answer to children's holidays during school time is to ensure that their parents meet tutorial responsibilities and have a system of work scheduled for that period of time. So while parents may have the primary responsibility for their children in the case of homeschooling, they must balance this with the legal requirements and the educational needs of children, particularly children, for example, who are, for one reason or another, working, like, for example, children who are involved in entertainment, in the theatre, in cinema, in television. Almost certainly their schooling is going to be interrupted, and that would be with the agreement of the school and the care of the parents and the arrangement for alternative schooling to take place, which would partly be provided, and I'm sure encouraged by the artistic organisation, by the theatre, by the television, by the film studio. Particularly in terms of providing tutors and chaperones. Schools and teachers are often seen as advocating for the child's best interest in terms of education and welfare, but it's not necessarily a universal system that fits all of them. And although the educational system operates within a legal framework designed to ensure all children receive a certain standard of education, parents know their children generally better than school teachers, but parents are not necessarily the best to judge whether or not the educational demands are being met. It's a balancing act. And while it may seem schools have more say in certain decisions, it reflects a balance between parental rights and society's interest in educating the community. As for travel companies that raise their prices during school holidays, making it difficult for families to afford those holidays, well, they're dealing with a flexible market, and they're corrupt and unpleasant. Maybe people should consider alternative holidays. We don't all need a holiday abroad. In fact, the idea of a holiday is an indulgence. Some would argue that policy changes to address the disparity in holiday costs, potentially by regulating prices or providing more affordable options for families, or indeed staggering school times, may help to sort out this problem, because it's only going to get worse. So the debate about taking children out of school for holidays involves a much bigger issue, and I think probably a draconian approach like the one that we've just heard of with the Mellings is not the right approach to take. The schools and teachers play a crucial role in ensuring the development of a community, not just the continuity of education, but also the cohesion of the local school community. It doesn't necessarily mean that they care more for the children than their parents, and vice versa isn't necessarily the case. Children are cared for by teachers and by parents, and ideally parents have the main say. But there are times when this doesn't work well, and teachers may be the first to see problems that need addressing. But I think we should be respectful of the role that schools play within our society. And that means, I think, also we need to be respectful of we need to delegate to schools a lot more than we do. We need to take back some of the powers from Ofsted and so on. And I think we need to consider the possibility of bringing the schools, of trusting the schools a lot more. If we can trust the schools to take these big decisions about holidays, then we can trust them to mark A-levels and GCSE papers.